Key building, you know he's on top. Million subs, he never gonna flop. Out of Chicago, where the streets don't sleep. Betting on games, making cash real deep. Crystal ball for sports, he knows the lines. He's a sports aficionado, the money he finds. From football to basketball, he's always on point. Predicting winners never disappoints. He's got that hustle, that Chicago vibe. Making moves on the streets, cash on the side. With E, you know it's always a bet. He's the king of the game, never forget.
What is up? Welcome to the Etoft21sports Show for May 14th. How is everyone doing? My name is Eric. I'm the man behind Etoft21sports. We have an absolutely loaded episode for you today. Gino's going to stop by. He's going to give you his bet for the Black-Eyed Susan, which is this Friday over at the Preakness. Plus, my boy Matt, he's coming back. We're going to talk some golf. This week, we're going to talk a little PGA Championship, so I'm really interested to pick his brain about that. But before we get into all that, I'd like to say thank you to the sponsor of the show, Parlay Play. If you're not using Parlay Play, go to the App Store, download the Parlay Play app, use promo code NFL Betting Blitz for a nice little deposit bonus. Now let's see what Gino has cooking for us over at Plimico for the Black-Eyed Susan.
It's a big weekend coming up with the Preakness on Saturday. I'm going to join Erik later on in the week on his show to talk about the Preakness and maybe some of the Saturday races. So let's dive into Friday. The Black-Eyed Susan is on Friday, and some really good races on the undercard, some nice stakes races. So let's talk about the Black-Eyed Susan. That one is going to go as race number 13 on Friday at Pimlico. These are 3-year-old fillies in here, and I'll mention a couple horses, but the one that I'm going to key in on is Who Could Ask for Mo. These two, Gun Song and Who Could Ask for Mo, these are the two that I like. Gun Song first is coming out of some really strong races. She was behind horses like Leslie's Loot, who you saw come back and win a stakes race in her next start, and then you start diving into some of the others that she faced. She was behind horses like Leslie's Rose, who came out of that race to go on to Keeneland and win the Grade 1 Ashland, Grade 1 winner Leslie's Rose. She also lost to nice horses like Power Squeeze, Ways and Means, and Into Champagne. All of them ran in the Kentucky Oaks. And if any one of those three were in this race, they would be major players. So I think Gun Song is a contender. But if you look at a lot of the horses in here, they all seem to be pretty quick. Gun Song is fast early. Corposo wants to sit close. So does Recharge from the outside. I think all of them will be forwardly placed in here. And then down towards the inside, wouldn't even be shocked to see Ringy Dingy show some speed. And I think Jeannie Marie is going to have to go. So they should be going pretty quick. That's why I could set up very nicely for Who Could Ask for Mo. This is a 3-year-old filly who's just been up against it in some races where they haven't gone fast enough early on to set up her late rally. She's a closer, but she puts the blinkers on. That'll help give her a little bit more focus, and I think it'll just help get her more involved in the race. So let's give Who Could Ask for Mo a big shot here, and we'll also use Gun Song in exotics. If you're playing pick 4s and pick 5s, or maybe you want to play some exactas with the two of them, we'll probably play Who Could Ask for Mo to win, because I think she'll be a better price in here. Those will be my two in the Black-Eyed Susan. We'll build some exotics around them. That's race number 13 on Friday. More horse racing with Erik coming up later this week. Good luck to everyone playing the Preakness. Make sure to head to drf.com.
Make sure to give my boy Gino a follow at It's Me, Gino B. I'll be on his podcast later in the week talking some NBA. He'll be on my podcast talking some Preakness later in the week. Now, without further ado, let's welcome this week's special guest all the way from New York. He's sweating out the Knicks game right now, my boy, Matt. Matt, how you doing today, my man?
Good. I mean, it's never easy with the Knicks, you know. You could be up 30 and next thing you know, they're losing.
So had you on for the Masters. Great time talking some golf with you. Why don't you remind everyone about how you bet golf, what kind of data you look at, what are some key points that you look at when you look to bet an event, a major event?
Yeah, so every tournament's a little bit different. You know, I use this database on BetSpurt. It's called the Rabbit Hole. Andy Lack and Ron Kloss are behind that. So you can kind of create a model based on anything you'd like. So like I was saying, every tournament's a little different. So you weigh like different factors. You know, you could weigh driving, approach, putting, you know, and so on. We can get into some of that. as we get into the guys we like and such and why we like them.
Now, what can you tell us about the course?
Yeah, so it's really a long course. So you want to hit the ball real far. Like, just for example, like the last 4 or 5 holes, you end with like the 15th is a 430 par 4, the 16th is a 510 or 508 par 4.
She led the league.
17th is a 480, 18th is 570 par 5. So it's a very long course. If you can't hit the ball far, you're pretty much out of luck here.
So I'm pulling up these stats that I had in terms of the PGA, and of course I cannot find them on my phone. Now obviously Scott Schefter, he has a kid on his way.
No, it's here.
Oh, it's here. It came.
It's the longest awaited kid I've ever seen.
Now, how does that? Is he playing or not?
Yeah. So he got there Monday, same as everybody else, and was on the range Monday and did his practice stuff today, his press conferences, same as everybody.
Now, what does that shy you away from him?
To be honest, I think a little bit of me is saying he's probably relieved.
Okay.
He was at the Masters. His wife wasn't there. His family was there. It's the kid coming, kind of like on pins and needles, waiting to see. Then the next week, same situation in the Heritage. A lot of people thought he might withdraw. Still played. So I think it's a good thing he had the kid because he was playing with or without this kid. But at least he's not stressed out about
doesn't have to worry about it.
I got to get on a plane and come back tomorrow.
Now I'm looking at this right now. Per covers, I Googled this. These are the keys to winning the PGA. Strokes gained tee to green. Strokes gained approaches from 175 to 200 yards. Strokes gained putting, and major championship track record. Would you say those are the key, or are there any other keys that should be added when we're looking to do this?
So I think some of them are key. More so putting on fast greens because the PGA typically speeds them up for this. And then driving was a bigger key to me. Strokes gained approach is always key on the Nicholson courses, but total driving, distance and good drives. You don't want to hit. You can hit it 400 yards, but if you put it 400 yards and wide right, another 100 yards, you're kind of still shit out of luck.
I got a question right here from my boy. Let's make some money. What is your biggest long shot you like?
So one of the plays I gave out, you'll see in a few, was Hideki outright. That, and he kind of fits all that you had just mentioned, including the major history.
We got an update from my boy Sports Facts. Nick's up 103 to 86. That's what we like to hear. So before we jump into the bets, we're going to do some takeaways. Both of us have one takeaway. Matt, what is your takeaway?
For the PGA?
Just a weekend takeaway. Any sort of takeaway you have would be great.
I mean, at least the Knicks and Rangers are still alive. There's a little bit of excitement in New York, I guess you could say. But we'll see how long it lasts.
My takeaway is every year there's a team just has stuff bounce their way. This year, for whatever reason, it's the Boston Celtics. This series, Jarrett Allen has his rib issue. Donovan Mitchell, calf strain. LeVert hurt his knee. Round before, Butler out. Giannis, Dame out first round. They exited against the Pacers. Embiid banged up. Loses early in the first round to the Knicks. Your Knicks are dropping like flies. And the only team that's relatively healthy, I know they have one guy out, is the Pacers. And when you look at all the teams that made the playoffs, the Celtics matched up best with the Pacers. So with that being said, it's the Celtics to lose. The Celtics are coming out of the East. The more I want to talk myself out of it, they're just coming out of the East. And as bettors, we got to find an advantage to bet them. And the way to bet them is look at the West, which team you like the best out of the West, and just play the, hey, you know what? I'm going to take, I think the Wolves come out. And the way to bet the Celtics now is to bet the Celtics to beat the Wolves in the prop. That's what you have to do. So I don't know. That's my biggest takeaway from the weekend. I don't know what voodoo gods are on the Celtics, but it seems like everything is breaking their way.
And Denver seems to figure out the Wolves' defense a little bit now. So we'll see tonight.
What the hell was up with your NBA video today? Yes, I know. Look, for those who don't know, I do an NBA video with Gino every single day. There's an NBA playoff game. I don't know what happened. The video I sent to him this morning had audio. When he put it on, it didn't have audio. I can tell from some messages I'm having some internet connections right now. So there's always something going on with me and Comcast or Xfinity, whatever it is. But we're gonna battle on through it. Bets. This is my favorite part of the show. Maddie, first bet. Why don't you tell us what we're working with and why?
Yeah, so both of them, Rory and Cam Young, they hit the ball far. And they're usually in play when they hit the ball far. They're not just, bombing it out there wide. If you watched the tournament last weekend, Rory was driving the ball 330, 340. So, he's going to have a big advantage if he's doing that again. He's going to be putting the ball 150 yards, 100 yards from the hole, where everybody else they can drive the ball far, but not Rory far. And Cam Young, similar. I just don't trust him on the outright side. He's had the major history where he's in contention. He's right there, but he just doesn't close the deal. So I think taking him at plus 450 to get in the top 10 is a good number. Rory,
go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm just laughing at one of your comments on there. One of your buddies.
Dude, okay, guys, everything comes out. If you guys understood the battle that I've had with Comcast, you guys would die. It is a constant battle with Comcast. All right, so you told us why you like Cam. Why do you like Roy? Like, I'm seeing a lot of X Twitter buzz or whatever that Roy is kind of like a guy to win it. Do you think we should bet him to win it?
So I gave him out as a winner as well. And one of my buddies who I think he was trying to join, but I'm not sure if he was able to. We'll call him AW. Andy's his first name. And he was talking to me, and he's like, I think when you get divorced, like, a lot of the pressure's off. I don't think a lot of people realized, like, Rory probably knew about this divorce like a couple months ago. It wasn't just like he woke up today and was going to get divorced. And he won last week, played probably his best tournament he's played in a couple months, maybe even longer. And then he won that team play event down in New Orleans with Lowry as his partner, but he carried Lowry. So yeah. I think, it's kind of similar to the Scotty situation. The baby's here, it's done. Let's go play. Yeah. The divorce is here, it's done. Let's go play.
Mm-hmm. My first bet, and maybe this is a bet with my heart, but I'm taking Tiger Woods to make the cut at plus 170. He's played well at this course in his past. I looked at the course, and yes, I know it's long, but it's not a hilly course. It's very flat, if you will, not a lot of ups and downs, very flat. He does have all those surgeries, bodies through hell. I don't think it's going to be that physical for him to walk. And because of that, I think he's going to be able to make the cut. I don't think we're going to see any Tiger magic where he messes around and can make a run at it. But I think he's able to make the cut, made the cut at the Masters. I'm seeing plus money. It's not that physical of a course. Looking at his course history, I played Tiger plus 170 to make the cut. What are your thoughts on that?
I have no issue with that because, like you said, it's not that hilly of a course. He's played well here before, and two, it's not like he has to win. He just has to play well for 2 days. And I think that Masters, he kind of got screwed over Sorry for, I don't know what the language situation here is, but
We're good. We're good.
so like the Masters, he had to play basically those last 5 holes and then turn around. He played till what, 9, 10 o'clock the first day with the
Yeah.
delay and the late start. Then he had to turn around and play at 8 o'clock in the morning and basically play a round and a half. So I don't disagree with that play at all. I don't typically play guys to make or miss the cut, but I don't mind that play.
Next one. Matt's second bet. Let's see it, my friend. Give it to me.
So John Rahm over Schauffele. I think Rahm took a lot of flack when he went to live, and he's kind of regretted it a little, it seems, with some of the comments that he's come out with. And when he went to live, the Masters was his first tournament back. A lot of the guys he played with over the years. And it was like a short turnaround. So he played on live, I want to say like a month and a half or 2 prior to playing in the Masters. And he said it was like very mentally wearing on him, where a lot of the guys he was friends with and played with him like would barely talk to him. So I think now he kind of knows what to expect. He's won the PGA obviously before, he's won on courses similar to this before, and hits the ball a lot farther than him. He's better with his irons when he's on, and I just think getting the plus money at plus 130, I had them weighed relatively even. So I thought that was a match that could go a stroke or 2 one way or the other. So taking the plus money, I thought was a good bet there.
What is the lowest that you'll go for a head-to-head matchup? Like, is there any odd point you won't play?
So it's easier to take a big number, like say a minus 200 in a tournament matchup, than it would be a day-to-day matchup. On any single day, any of these guys could go out and have 10 under day, 8 under day. Look at Sunday, everybody was +1, -1, and Rory goes out and he's 9 under, 8 under, whatever it was. So I think the day-to-day matchups are tougher to take a number like that on, but a tournament matchup, they kind of weigh each other out throughout the tournament. So 4 days to basically put the guy away or win. I think that speaks more than like a day-to-day where I could go have a 500 day and this guy could have a 400 day or a 600 day.
My next bet. Now, if I'm lunatic for this one, Matt, just let me know. Okay. If you think I'm a lunatic, just be straight up and let me know. I'm going DM. Denny McCarthy, top 20 plus 350. He's made 11 out of 12 cuts this year. He has 2 top 6 finishes, an additional, top 20 additional, 4 additional top 28 finishes. Last week, McCarthy had a top 6 finish, gained 4.92 strokes in putting, an additional 3.5 strokes around the green. 4 previous PGA appearances, never missed a cut. His best finish to date, 29th at Oak Hill last year. So I think he's accustomed with his performance at these tournaments to do well. At the Heritage, when he finished 6th, he had 4.7 strokes gained in his final round. I think in his form, I'm looking at all these stroke gains stats and him doing well at the PGA Championship. I'm seeing plus 350 to make the top 20. I think this is a great bet with a lot of value.
Yeah, he's a very good putter too. So that's one thing that can always you drop a shot here or there. It's typically you get out of place off the tee or, you miss a 8-footer for par that could have put you in the mix or could have dropped you to a 30th. So I like that.
Now we're to the money plays. These are the winners. Matt, why don't you tell us why you're playing these 3 guys to win the tournament?
Yeah, so we touched a little on Rory and Rahm being, the big hitters, and that pretty much why I went to them. If Rahm's irons are on, I think he's just as good. And last year and the year prior, he'd probably be about 10-1, 12-1, and we're getting 16-1 now on him. And then Hideki, similar to a lot of the stuff that you had mentioned, he has the good major form, and he's a hitter. His putter can get hot. He's good on approach. So I think he's going to be in the mix here as well. And 60-1, he was, I think, 25 or 30-1 in the Masters when we liked him. So why not play him back here again?
All right, here we go. Matt, no Knicks gear. How many guys do you bet to win? Like, what is like? I guess like my question is, what is your exposure? Like, I'm seeing you're playing Rory to win and also top 5. Like, what was? Let's say I'm just going to use the arbitrary number of $100. How would I break down the win bets for these 3 guys plus the other bets that you distributed?
So I'd go, if you were doing 100, I'd go 50 on Rory, 30 on Rahm, 20 on Hideki.
Okay. Okay, I hate the Lakers. I'm seeing top 40 bets. Do you like them?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of depends where you're looking. Like a number on, Hideki could be a good top 40, but I wouldn't play like a Rahm or Rory
Okay.
in a top 40 just because, I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but I'd say like a Rory top 40 is probably like minus 400 or something.
Let me pull up
There's been Masters where he's missed the cut. So, there's a higher variance in golf than it being like, guess you'd say like a basketball or a football where it's like a coin flip type thing.
All right, so I'm pulling this up right now. Top 40. Oh yeah, minus 700 for Rory.
I didn't realize it was that.
Hideki's minus 140. The guys I'm seeing in plus money. Tell me if any of these guys like interest you. Keith Mitchell, Patrick Reed, Brian Harmon, Harris English, Tom Kim, Tom Hodge, JT Potzen, Keegan Bradley, Taylor Moore, Ricky Fowler, plus 140. I mean, that any value?
I don't mind Hoagie because he's very consistent. He's he's not a long driver, but he's usually in the fairway. His putter can get hot. I don't know what the number is on him, but I'd say like an even money play on him might not be bad there.
Okay. All those guys were plus money that I read off. You can get every single one of those guys at plus money.
So Fred that you met last time, he's high on Taylor Moore this week. He uses the same database and the data I use, not the same statistics weighed out, but he does like Taylor Moore. So
plus
Taylor
140
Moore top 40. That's on Fred.
Top 40. He's plus 140. I wonder who has the longest shot to be a top 40. Zach Oakley at 35-1 for top 40.
His last name is Oakley?
Yeah.
I've never heard of him. Fred just texted me. He's in the he's in his room and he said, "Don't you dare put that juju on me."
Jared Jones 35-1. Yeah, I've never bet a top 40. My last bet. Look, it's been 2 years since Justin Thomas has won a PGA at the PGA level, but he's won 2 major championships in his career, has a history of performing well at the PGA Championship. Recent form coming off a 5th place finish at the Heritage, 3 top 5 finishes this year, ranks 11th on the season on strokes gained, plus has been solid when you look at the tee to green stat, which I kind of feel, as you mentioned, is a very key part to this course. This is his hometown course. I'm going to play him. I'm seeing plus 175 for top 20. I think that's way too good to pass up. I know it's been a while since he's won, But when I look at his historic performance here, the stats, which are key, he's done well. And I think we're getting plus 175 at top 20. I think that's too good to pass up.
I like it. He's always had a better history in this major. If you're looking at like all four majors, obviously he has the win a couple years ago to go back to too. And, listening to his press conference today, he seems pretty confident. It's like you said, it's his home course, his hometown, all that type of stuff. So yeah, I like him.
All right, so we got a question. We got a question here. Where is it? Let me pull this up. DK fantasy advice. Okay, so Matt and I are going to do this on the spot. Okay, let's just do this on the spot. DraftKings lineup. I'm just pulling up a random lineup. Who's the guy we have to have in the course?
I think it's Rory.
Right.
I mean, the case can be made for you got to go Scotty, but everybody's going to have Scotty.
All right, so we're gonna go Rory. We're gonna go Rory. We're gonna go my boy Denny. All right, so we got two in. We got 3,100 left.
Let's see if I can pull it up here, just to look at places.
Cam Young 9,000. Hideki is 8,600.
So I'd go Cam Young over Hideki. I mean, you could probably fit them both if you go low enough with the other guys.
All right, so let's put Cam Young in. All right, so we're gonna have to find a budget guy. Who's a budget guy you like this week?
Let's see. I'm just pulling up the prices. What about
Tiger Woods, 6,800?
Oh, God, we can't do that. I would love him to be in contention, but
all right, who'd you say? Spell last name?
Hoagie should be like 6,400.
6,400. Okay. Boom. 6,400. What'd you say his name was? Hogue?
Tom Hogue.
Boom.
Sorry.
All right. So now we have 2 spots left. We have 16,300 left. For 2.
Let's go Hideki at 8,600.
Hideki at 8,600. Now we're left with 7,700.
And we could go Corey Connors at 76, Battier at 72.
We're gonna go with Connors. That was the first guy you mentioned. So there you have it. This is the lineup. Connors, Hodge, Hideki, McCarthy, Roy, and Cam Young. So if this hits, guys, remember who gave it to you. Remember who gave it to you if this hits. Matt, I'd like to thank you for coming on, talking a little golf. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find you on social media, my friend?
Yeah, and I use more Instagram, MPAPPS, and same thing for Twitter. I do have one other thing to share. One of my friends just sent me. So the guy who does bet spurts, Andy Lack, he said, he posted this tweet. Rory broke off his engagement with Carolyn Wazinski, the famous tennis player, in May of 2024. When he did that, he then won. He went 2nd in November, 2nd in October, 2nd in September, 8th in September, 5th. May comes around. Then he wins in August, the PGA Championship, the next tournament after that, the Open Championship, 14th in the Scottish. Then he misses the cut, and then June comes around, 23rd, 15th, another win, 6th and 8th. So maybe Rory likes to be single when he's playing golf.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I used to have a big crush on Carolyn Wozniacki back in the day. I'm looking at her pictures right now. I was gonna pull one up, but I'm not. Yeah, she's a nice looking woman. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe women distract him. Maybe he needs kind of that clear sense. So It's going to be a great tournament. If you guys have any questions about betting or fantasy, you can make sure you can give Matt a DM on Instagram, give me a DM on Twitter. I'll probably ask Matt the question and then answer it for you, just because he knows way more about golf betting than I. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. We'll be back next week with my boy. I haven't talked to him in a while, David, aka Bettor DP21 on social media. Until then, best of luck in all your bets, and we will see everyone next week.